Yeah, you guys will be busy for a while. All right, so we will, if Kenny joins us, we know that Jake isn't going to, but we'll patch him in. I guess we'll do roll call.
Want to do the whole call to the meeting to order stuff?
Call the meeting to order. This is the Harbor Commission regular meeting, August 11th, 6 p.m.
Okay, Jake Betts. Andy Craig.
Here.
Max Weiss.
Here.
Ken Jones. Mike Babbitt.
Mike Babbitt.
Mike Babbitt here.
Okay, so we have before us an agenda.
Make a motion to approve the regular agenda.
Can I second?
Yeah.
No.
I can second.
Yeah,
Mike
did.
second.
Mike's-
Okay,
Mike's
Mike, the agenda's been approved or moved and seconded. Minutes are at the next meeting. So we have communications by visitors and we have nobody in the audience. Do we have anybody on the phone? Negative. Okay. Moving on to the Harbormasters Report. And it's a long one. You guys have been busy.
It's just a duplicate the last 2 years.
There's a lot of this stuff seems to happen over and over.
It does. It does happen over and over. Yeah. Let's see. So we sent out invoices, annual stuff, monthly stuff. Security for Sampson 9 times during offloads. Let's see. As well as says, Jason Chapley left us in June, went back to New Jersey for good. So we've had Jerry Blackler stepping in to run the travel lift for us. And then the last couple of days, I actually picked boats myself. So I don't like it. I don't want to do it.
You don't like it? I saw the Aletta hanging there. Is it?
Yes, we picked that yesterday and put it back in the water today.
Okay.
Yep.
Short.
And then we put Wayne Smith's boat back in the water the other day too.
Haven't had any luck in getting somebody then.
No. So, yeah, because Jerry's leaving for about a month. So I guess, well, I had to try to do what I can. We're not going to have the full service of pulling big boats. I'm going to do what I'm confident in and stick with them 70, maybe up to 100,000 pound boats, nothing too big. And nothing that takes like triple straps and everything. I just want to stay fairly simple until I hopefully not have to get real good at it. But I'll do what I can to keep it running. I think we were at, I don't know if I put it in here, 93, we're at actually 95 lifts now as of this week, which is pretty good. Let's see. We installed hand washing stations, still got to finish installing the UHMW sheeting on them. A few things here. We had 2 temps this year. One of them just left. He's going to college in about another week. So we still have 1 temp on. Repaired some holes in the concrete in the South Harbor. Let's see, anything else that's... So we submitted the raise and the PIDP grants. As you know, we got the tier grant. We are working on the state tier grant. Trying to hold out a little bit to see what we're going to get. If we get the raise and the PIDP, will really help with a big project. But so we got at minimum a 6-month window to sign the agreement with the state, maybe a little bit longer if we have run into any issues. And then they do have a set, once you sign the project, when they agree to the project, you get 18-month window to complete the project. There's a little bit of leeway. That's something they're flexible on if we run into issues with getting parts and materials. So we've been in contact quite a bit with the state and P&D Engineering, working with them to just come up with the best ways to do things and how we can move them along. Let's see. Still working. We're going to be getting the EDA grant going in. That one's 8.6. We're trying to see if they'll up that at all for us for the EDA grant. It's a $6 million match, but we can match that with our other grants if we get them.
It's a real game.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So we submitted the PIDP grant. That was for $40 million. And that part of that is in this packet of what we looked at on the north side. So,
But all the other grants can be used to cover our part of the, if they want 10% or something, right?
yeah, we're probably going to be a little short on about $1 million short, but we can come up with that out of savings. Hopefully, if we have enough after we do engineering costs and everything else, which is going to be expensive. But we're going to do what we can to make it work. Let's see.
Because I know we did with the state, or was it Rasmussen, when he did the Pioneers, we used them against each other.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
No, not against each other.
Well,
in
no.
conjunction.
Yeah.
well, we use this one to get that money and then use that one to get this money. you
Right.
know.
Yeah. Got some new end brackets from Peterson's. We're still waiting on pile hoops because they can't get a hold of material. So, the 3-inch pipe. So,
There's some strange shortages
Yeah,
of
I know.
stuff going on around.
we could have done it out of stainless, but that was going to be a bit pricey. Let's see. Had the crane inspection, new tires, 2 new tires on the travel lift that hadn't been done for a while. So,
Those Napa thing, or where do you do those?
the city shop does them for us. Yep.
It's a serious tire.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, I know Kenny, he's not on the phone. He wanted an update on the salmon disaster relief fund and fixing the 3-stage dock. We still haven't submitted that application. We're going to work on that when Sam gets back from vacation to get that submitted. And then hopefully go out to bid on that to get the 3-stage dock worked on. So the new planking and bull rail and hopefully a crane. So
We have new planking on one approach
no, we don't have,
on the 3-stage.
not since I've been here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are they gonna try to put anything for that in between? We had it measured for another ramp.
Yeah, we don't have any money to do anything like that.
Well, I was just
so-
wondering
yeah.
if that, anything like that was going in there.
Yeah, not from that fund, and that, yeah, we don't have any extra money laying around for that. Once we do, engineering is going to be $500,000 just for the project in the harbor, so,
for
yeah,
the other harbor. Yeah,
This side.
the
Yeah.
other project.
Yep.
The floats.
yep.
Yeah.
So, and that's it on that, unless someone's got a question.
Thanks. That's the Harbormasters Report. No questions. New business. We have the North Harbor Improvements Conceptual Drawing for the PIDP grant.
Yeah.
And this is what we worked on, was it a couple meetings ago?
Yeah, we had the standard sheet pile. We didn't have a lot of detail in it. P&D did this for us. We needed to get enough in there to make it worthwhile. So this is in that $40 million grant we put in, which would take care of the south side. This is about I think we looked at a $14 million project. So to do the north side.
And so just as I'm looking at this, the cars that are parked on the other side of Breakwater Avenue,
Yeah,
that's where cars are parked currently, and everything that's drawn is towards the water from there.
Yeah, new plumbing, yeah, new parking, yeah.
yeah.
New parking.
And also, I see they got a net mending float and another crane there.
Yeah, 2 cranes.
Where's the?
Over towards Fish and Game.
Yeah, by the Reluctant,
Yeah,
a little square there, a little ramp going down to it.
Yeah, where's the other crane?
there's 2 dots. One's on the dock and one's on the shore.
Oh, the dots, okay.
How does the one on the shore work? Lowers it onto the dock?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, if you want to lower your crane, lower it down, everything, because we didn't want to put a crane that was 30, 40 feet sticking out. So we put 2 cranes, so you could at least pull it off the boat to the dock to work on it if you wanted to, or you could pull it up to your boat, your car.
Yep.
So if you just wanted to bag it,
And
put
then
it
if
up.
you want to get rid of it, you just lift it back
Yeah.
to the truck. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. The yellow spaces, those are all commercial spaces. So, if we wanted to have a food truck there or, yeah.
Well, the question, how big are you got smaller sections there, like those 50 foot by 20 or something, or?
I think they're 50 by, I think they're a little more than 20, but I don't remember for sure.
The big ones.
Yeah, the big ones. And then-
50 by 120, and then it looks like we have some half ones.
Yep.
Maybe 50
Yep.
by 50, 50 by
Yep.
60.
I don't remember what the,
Actually, there's kind of a range of sizes the way this.
That's what I was wondering.
yeah, I mean,
What you could build there, yeah.
yeah, you wouldn't, I mean, probably we wouldn't build anything giant. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of like over in Seward, they have a bunch of little things along the front there.
Have the little 15-foot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be at least, parking spot is what, 12 feet wide, so,
And there'd
yeah,
probably
it's-
be water and sewer somewhere in there.
yeah, so. Yeah, and then along the front, you can see that darker gray area would be your walkway, you know.
Okay.
That would kind of overhang like over in Whittier, kind of just hangs over a little bit. Yeah,
Against that, that's all going to be just mud in front though, too. There's no dredging involved there.
no, there'd be dredging because we'd have to sheet pile, because we come out, I think we measured out 60 feet or so
So
into the harbor.
people might be able to tie against that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, there's no dock there, kind of, it's not going to be like, but the thought is maybe in the future, we can pull our docks up to it like in Whittier.
Okay, no, I just wondered if there'd be enough water to get somebody to ride.
Yeah,
on that.
there actually should be. So and that's because we'd have to at least dredge over by that new little minette mending float. So,
Okay.
yeah, and then they'd put in riprap over there along the Reluctant and everything, because they'd have to dredge a little bit to make that a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So you could come in.
Yeah, I mean, you
around
can now, but it
A-
wouldn't be as,
Right.
yeah.
And get to that
Yep.
new float
yeah,
ramp
Yeah.
access.
so,
Oh, interesting.
but yeah, we wanted to
Yep.
see what we come up with, because do something over there if we could get enough for this side and do a little bit over there, so, but yeah.
Well, that's a
Can you
plan.
guys hear me okay there, Tony?
I can now, yep.
Okay, yeah, no, I really like the drawing. I think that's cool, and I think it, like we talked about before, it still leaves some room so that, and, you know, with that flat pile and stuff, whenever there is a harbor replacement in the future, we could bring that main dock in and, you know, utilize a few more spaces, a few more stalls there. And, yeah, I like, it's really, I think it's awesome, the way that it got set up there. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe if we move the crane towards the corner of the floating dock, it could still be used to lift things up and down off of the dock, but you could also access it with like a bow picker going into that corner to lift a bag of a gill net out of your bow or something like that. Too.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Mike. I,
Yeah.
I like being able to use that crane from a boat as well if you
Yeah.
poke it in there somehow.
Yeah, you just kind of slide it over just a little bit, and I think it would work good for both.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Either that, you'd have to make two lifts, one onto the dock and use the other crane to go up. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Did it make it one lift that way?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely is definitely conceptual, but yeah.
No, it's exciting to see all the parking places there. You know, they look like they're nice, decent-sized parking places, and it'll take care of all of our parking issues now and, you know, for the foreseeable future there, too.
Yeah, I think that number up there says 120 parking spots. But we counted every car along the road on both sides and in the big parking lot, and that, I believe, covered all of those.
So they're 10 by 20 foot. That's nice size.
Yeah. So, yeah, so we came up enough to get everything off, technically off the side of the roads and out of the parking lot if we truly needed to, so,
With a big double cab. full-
yeah,
With the trailer hitcher, 22 feet.
yeah, yeah,
So,
Go park somewhere else.
yep.
yeah.
So,
I noticed that went pretty bad in the winter when they're sticking out there.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, there's still a lot, you know, it's conceptual and we don't even know if we're ever going to, you know, if we're going to get the grant, we just keep hoping. But, you know, this is when, if we get the money, then it would be time to sit down and actually really look at it to put it in
Yeah.
stone.
We
Yeah,
keep
no,
on
I-
getting asked by council what we plan on now.
Mm-hmm.
We show them this is what we're looking at.
Right. Yep. Yeah. You know, there's still always going to, there's that question still in the Science Center, what's going to happen, when they're even going to move. Forest Service, I don't know what's going on with their lease. I don't believe it's been signed yet, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, I don't know what the plans are there, but it's something to at least have.
Mike's grid is set in stone, though. That can't go anywhere, right?
No, we're going to get rid of Mike's grid whenever we can.
Oh, no. Oh,
Mike's what?
Mike's grid,
He likes
Oh, it's grid.
the old grid, yeah.
that grid is awesome over there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I hear from the 3 people that use it.
Oh, man.
All right.
So-
Well, that looks, yeah, great. We got,
We have to make a motion or anything that we want.
No, I just wanted to bring it, if you guys want to discuss it, I mean, when we get that big giant grant, then there will be a big old discussion, but I wanted you guys to see it and, I mean, I understand the crane, but stuff like that's minute.
Looks
I mean,
like-
we can move that at any time. It's not a big deal.
we've got the,
But I was wondering if we could add this to our long-term plan.
Mhm. Yeah, to the master plan, yeah. Yep,
good idea.
yep,
That way because they look at it and they come back to us and say, you don't have anything figured
Yeah.
out here, so.
yeah. And if nothing else, we put it in that folder and we have it, so when the
Yeah.
time comes and the money comes, we'll be like, hey, look, we do have something. And we can
Well,
work,
somebody-
something we can work with.
If these billions are supposed to be given to harbors and everything, maybe, you never know what the federal government give you if you got a plan ready.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Yep.
So,
And you checked all the boxes.
yeah, and it's only 14 million.
Never- Yeah.
Bargain. Great. Moving on to B in new business, the covered picnic shelter on Breakwater Lot. And we have a letter from the Pioneers Alaska Women's Igloo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a letter.
Cease is saying that she would, that they talked about it and they would like that improvement. And we have kind of a conceptual drawing here of a heavily timbered picnic shelter. Looks like it'd take a strong gust of wind to blow it over. Yeah, I guess, is there any?
They were asked by the Parks and Rec to send a letter in.
Yeah. As far, I think that seems like a good, there's a lot of, I go by there a lot. There's often people, lately it's been a little nasty, but out, parked there or hanging out, watching the traffic.
Yeah, usually you see coming in, when I'm coming in, there's 5 or 6 cars. parked.
Yeah, people seem to like
People
hanging
sitting
there.
over to break rocks down there watching boats come in and go, so.
Seems like a good spot to
I just
give them
don't
some
know,
dry.
do we have any plans for it?
Well, we don't own it, so,
Oh.
I mean, it's the city's, it's, yeah. You want to hear my negative or my positive side of that?
Give us both.
Both of them, I guess.
What would you, what,
If this is, and I know it's conceptual, and they just took something and threw into that. If that's the true size,
that's huge.
there's no room to do anything out there.
That's too big, yeah.
I mean, if we continue to leave, if we use that, then like the food truck camp, to me, it doesn't look like there's enough room for a food truck out there with this there. And then to be able to come, everyone that parks out there 4th of July, I mean, Ice Worm, I mean, me, I'd prefer that we put the one we had back, but,
What did we have?
well, we had over at the hospital and then Nirvana had the big one.
Thing,
Yeah.
gazebo,
Yeah.
octagonal.
My other issue, and maybe it's not as big of a deal, is the trash issue. If it I mean, we know it gets windy out there, and if it doesn't get cleaned up, it is gonna be, well, it'll be in the harbor, so we can pick it up when it gets there.
It gets windy. It
Um,
does get windy.
Yeah, I think it's a bit big if you were to do anything, and I don't know, granted, this is a council decision because, it went out to bid before and people wanted to put stuff out there, and that was shot down with the restaurant and hotel.
Yeah.
So,
I do like the idea of having having covered recreation spots. And the other thing is that was mentioned in here is the interpretive signs, something that explains what a gillnetter is, what a seiner is.
I mean, I think that stuff's good, is the interpretive signage and stuff, yeah. I mean,
Petersburg's got the whole, all the boats laid out there. I was like, oh, we could just copy this. It's perfect. You could just walk along and see, just kind of with their gear out, what they would
Right.
be doing. And
Yep.
it kind of helps.
Yeah, I think this is more of the drawing. They haven't really looked at what you could really put there and still have access.
Right, yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think they went down with a tape measure and really took this building and said, yeah, that will fit perfect.
Because
Because,
we're talking, you know, about food trucks, kiosks, and, you know, people go and open tables and all that. You got, every one of them tables take 10 feet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I just don't, with this picture, and I understand it's conceptual, is it doesn't leave a lot of room for anything else out there of getting, I mean, that place gets pretty packed during Ice Worm. I mean, there's 3-4 rows out there of
oh, when
people.
you're, for the fireworks.
Yeah,
And then
Yep.
another idea might be something like what Valdez has with
a parking
the
garage.
sheds. Well, just like 2 sheds, maybe angle, you know, maybe not
Yeah,
Something
set up the same way,
keep
but
off the rain sometime.
somewhere where you can get out of the rain. I don't know.
I don't,
But
as a mother, like.
Did they
the
have
idea
a,
of
was
having
there a
kids
map with a
Just gonna say
footprint
that.
of how much space they were trying to get there?
what was that? Say it again?
a map.
Was there just a map or like, you know, one of our aerial photos or something with how much, you know, just to visualize how much space they're asking for there?
No, I mean, I don't think they went that far. I mean, yeah, I didn't, this is what was sent to me, so,
But Parks and Rec is leading the charge on this,
Yes.
yeah, as far as I understand, yes.
and they're just asking for our input.
This was sent by the Pioneers. This wasn't sent by Parks and Rec. That's the letter I got was in my mailbox with Harbor on it. So I brought it as a general discussion because it may come back to us. I would think that it's going to come back to
Parks
us.
and Recs went to the Pioneers and asked them to write this letter.
Yeah, yeah. So, but you wanted to say something?
Oh, sorry.
It just, for me, the idea of having kids on that road when, if we haven't fixed our traffic problem yet, is scary. And if you put a park out there, and I realize we're not calling it a playground, but the idea of having more foot traffic, bicycle traffic on that road.
Which road are you talking about?
Breakwater.
Breakwater Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The way our parking is scary during the summer.
that's true.
I like the idea down by the hospital just because it gets away from our high traffic areas.
The other thing that I see a lot of use, it doesn't really get away from our high traffic areas, but is the past the Harbormaster's office by the Breakwater Trail, that little picnic zone there is pretty small, but there is almost always people
Mhm.
at that picnic table. And I almost always am picking up trash as I go by there, like you said.
Yeah, it
But
does.
there is cans there.
Oh, I know.
There's there.
But they get filled quick. 18 packs fills them up.
Oh yeah, well there, yeah, that is
Yeah.
a lot of that going on. But that is another spot where, of course, some very wind-resistant structure. Some days the rain comes straight down, and it might not be bad to have some sort of shelter. If we were needing to put up a shelter somewhere, that might not be a bad.
I think,
spot.
yeah, and I guess I agree more on what you're saying, is that if you were to put one somewhere, as long as you didn't take up the parking, because
Right.
parking is valuable, that would be a better spot.
we have a little zone there already with
Yeah.
a table.
Mhm. And it wouldn't be nearly
And
as.
it does, there is more, this Southville is a little more pedestrian friendly.
Yeah, it is a little more, yep, yep.
Move
little
that
bit.
big buoy over a little bit, you'd have some room.
We could, yeah, well, I mean, that buoy is part of the ambiance. We can wiggle it around somehow, but we
I
have,
like the idea of a covered area like we used to have, but we do have a couple locations that they worked well at till they blew away. So let's put another one
Yeah.
down there.
Or we removed them because of, yeah,
but that is, well, both of these locations, the wind is, you know, it would have to be built. If it didn't have walls and get uplift, it would have to be sturdy.
yeah, it's definitely gonna have to be anchored in concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just figured sooner or later it's gonna come, and I figured something easy that we could put on the agenda. So, but
Well, council probably ship it back to us once they get it in their hands, right?
oh yeah,
I,
I would think they probably will. They'll ask for us to weigh in. So, but I don't think
We
it's
don't-
moving that fast right now. But
we don't really know if there's a budget for this or,
yeah, I don't know what that's going to be a Parks and Rec grant thing, or the Pioneers are going to fund it.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So, Yeah, so I'm guessing it's gonna be a Parks and Rec or a city grant somewhere.
Women set this in, and they said something about the kiosk, make for signage and that kind of stuff, but I
Yep.
don't think of building anything.
Okay,
But the Parks and Recs came to them and asked them if they'd write letters for support.
okay.
But that's just for, maybe they're going for grants, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't,
Anybody have anything to add on the covered picnic shelter? Any other locations to throw out there?
still there, Mike?
Yeah, I got you, Tony.
Okay.
I don't have nothing to add on it.
Okay,
Okay.
I just,
Okay, it looks like puts us to audience participation. I don't see, has anybody else come in on the phone who wants to say anything? Hearing none. Commission comments, future agenda items. Max, you got any comments?
I don't really have anything besides what we're doing here, but on that grant, I like to have that conceptual plan put in somewhere where we don't lose it.
mhm.
And, fine, it looks good to me. Just keep on, trying to get our grants, and be careful we don't go over the deadline on something and getting this state money, because, we have it if we do
Yeah.
it right. So
Yeah.
don't want to get where we possibly lose it, but that's all I have to say. So, got 6 months about from, July, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it sounds like
they-
Tony's in communication.
yeah, we just actually talked to her today, Joanne Schmid, just talked to her, and there is a little bit of leeway, and she understands that this, this is the first time with our grant, and the way getting materials right now is a little bit tough, so they want us to spend that money. I mean, so.
Yep. So, okay, that's all I have.
Right on. Mike, you got anything?
I'd just say I was just super excited to see those conceptual drawings. I think that's just what we need over, what the North Harbor's been needing there for a while there. So that'll be awesome to see them all get rolling on there, and it'll be good just to get that into our master plan and stuff, and just have that stuff. So if stuff does come up in the future, we're ready for it. And yeah, that was about all I had.
Right on. Well, good. I don't have anything else to add. Sounds like you guys covered it. The only thing for future agenda items
Right, yeah.
is I would like to maybe more discussion on landing craft spots.
Yep, we're done with that.
We're done with that? Is there anything we can do with Northville? Put in a piling, something for those guys to lean against? Anything to?
Maybe during this project, we can put a piling at the north ramp. Is that what you're talking? When they do the harbor, and we already got a driver,
Right.
pile
have a
driver.
Pile driver, put a couple in out there
Yep.
for those guys to lean
Yep.
against. That might help.
Because then we'll have a nationwide piling permit. So,
Oh,
We'll have to put a bunch of pilings in.
right, so we won't have to go and just do a permit just for 2 pilings.
It'll be like,
Because that costs money to do that.
they just drive by and he decided he'd hang out there, so he drove a couple.
Yeah,
that sounds
Well,
good.
you have to use all steel, or you can't use creosote piling anymore, right?
I would not say you can't, but yeah, preferably, we'd use steel down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole point is, when we do this too, is if we have the money, is we're going to replace all the pilings with steel. Because, environmentally, that's the way to go.
Well, they're gonna make it law pretty quick. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't even one of the funding sources specifically for removing?
There is a clean water grant for removal, and to replace all our pilings, about a $2 million loan, not a grant.
Low.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they do a subsidy, but they wouldn't do it for us. Sam looked into it. So, I mean, it's still something we may have to do, just because we don't have enough money to maybe do all the pilings. So, yeah. But it's a pretty cheap loan. It's like 1 or 2%. So,
So that's what you.
I mean, it's only $2 million. It's just 2.
All righty.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I heard a second. Okay, I guess we're adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
guys.
Appreciate you guys getting together as much as we could.
Been a while, but it's good to
Mike, go catch some fish.
check in. Yeah, round them up, Mike.
Guess they call in silver season Monday.